You probably have all of these items in your home right now. You use them every week, maybe even every day, and you swear you're cleaning with them, leaving everything shiny and sanitized. But what if I told you that many of them are doing the exact opposite? That instead of cleaning, they're damaging surfaces, making things dirtier, or spreading invisible bacteria throughout your home. That's right, I'm the facilitator, and you're about to discover the 7 cleaning items that are quietly destroying your home. And the worst part is you probably have no idea. Some of them you even use almost every day, like item number 3. Let's get straight to the point. The first item on our list is the squeegee. Yes, that old squeegee, leaning in the corner of your bathroom or laundry room. It's practical, cheap, and easy to use, but it's also one of the biggest dirt spreaders in your home. The problem is that the rubber edge collects residue and bacteria, especially if it's stored while damp and rarely cleaned. Each time you run it across the floor, thinking you're cleaning, you might just be pushing dirt from one side to the other. And almost no one washes the squeegee properly. The solution? Wash it often with hot water and soap, dry it thoroughly before storing, and replace it more frequently than you think. It's not made to last for years, and there are many better alternatives nowadays, like a mop. Are you really still using a squeegee in 2025? The second item is the broom. It might seem absurd to include it here, right? After all, it's practically a symbol of cleanliness. But over time, the bristles become deformed, lose their effectiveness, and instead of sweeping, they just push the dirt around, stirring up dust that then settles on your furniture and surfaces. And even worse, many people use the same broom indoors and outdoors, which is a recipe for cross-contamination. The rule is simple: have separate brooms for indoor and outdoor areas, wash the bristles frequently, and replace the broom as soon as they start to bend or fray. If that's already happened to yours, it's spreading dirt instead of cleaning. So pay attention. Now tell me, when was the last time you replaced your broom? You don't even remember, do you? The third item on the list is the kitchen sponge. I bet you've heard it accumulates bacteria, but you might not know that it can actually be more contaminated than your toilet. Because it's constantly in contact with food, residue, and moisture, it becomes the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Even if you rinse it after use, within just a few days, it turns into a bacteria reservoir that you then spread across your dishes, utensils, and countertops. The solution is simple. Replace your sponge at least once a week and sanitize it frequently, either by soaking it in boiling water or placing it damp in the microwave for 1 minute, as long as it has no metal parts. And if you want to take it a step further, switch to kitchen brushes, which accumulate far less dirt. The fourth item is the cleaning cloth, probably the most used and also one of the most problematic. It's supposed to clean, but often it just spreads dirt around. Why? Because many people reuse it for days without washing it, store it damp in closed spaces, or use it on multiple surfaces without realizing they're transferring germs from one place to another. Think about it. That cloth you use to wipe the sink could be carrying the same germs as the sponge. And now you're spreading them on the table where you eat. The advice is clear. Wash your cloths after every use, never store them while damp, and replace them frequently. Microfiber cloths are great, but only if they're also cleaned properly. The fifth item is precisely the microfiber cloth, which many people treat as the hero of cleaning. And with good reason, it's effective. But when used incorrectly, it can become the villain. If you use it dry, on delicate surfaces, it can cause tiny scratches over time. If it's washed with fabric softener or mixed with fluffy fabrics, it loses its effectiveness and starts accumulating dirt instead of removing it. And if it's used for several days without washing, it becomes a dust and bacteria trap. That's why you should always wash it separately. Avoid softeners and make sure it's clean before reusing. That way, it truly does its job. The sixth item is the feather duster, which deserves the title of cleaning illusion. It may seem practical and efficient, but it doesn't actually remove dirt. It merely displaces the dust, throwing particles into the air. They then settle back onto surfaces shortly after, and if you suffer from respiratory allergies, the situation gets even worse because you're essentially spreading a cloud of invisible dust throughout your home. The alternative? Damp microfiber cloths or handheld vacuums, which actually capture and remove dust instead of just moving it around. Tell me honestly, have you also been fooled by the feather duster like I was? Don't lie to me. And finally, we reach the seventh item, the bucket. The problem here isn't owning one, it's how it's used. Many people fill the bucket with water and cleaning solution, dip the cloth in, wipe the entire floor, and then keep using the same dirty water for hours. The result? Instead of cleaning, you're spreading a diluted mix of dirt all over your home. Another common mistake is adding too much cleaning product, thinking it will clean better. In reality, the excess forms a sticky film that attracts even more dust. The right approach is to change the water frequently during cleaning and avoid using too much product. Now, I want to know, how many of these items do you use every week? Almost all of them, right? How many did you think were harmless, and now you're looking at them differently? The truth is, the problem isn't exactly the items themselves, but how most people use them. We have a habit of trusting routines. I've always done it this way, and it's worked. But real cleaning isn't about habits, it's about effectiveness. And effectiveness begins when you understand that every choice makes a difference. The sponge you swear cleans everything might be spreading bacteria. The duster that seems so convenient might be leaving your shelves dusty all the time. The cloth that looks spotless might be contaminating everything around it. And that trusty old squeegee? It might be spreading fungus across your floors. The good news is that now that you know this, you can change small things and achieve huge results. Replace your cloths more often. Wash your cleaning tools properly. Avoid reusing dirty water. And most importantly, question the habits you've had for years without thinking. Sometimes the difference between a truly clean home and a seemingly clean one lies precisely in these small details. So tell me in the comments, which of these 7 items are you going to rethink starting today? Is there one you're planning to retire for good? I want to know which one surprised you the most. I'll be reading all the comments. And remember, cleaning well isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. Sometimes the secret isn't adding more products or more tools, but using fewer and using them better. If you like this, subscribe to the channel. A big hug and see you in the next video.